had a holistic lifestyle. So they had a lifestyle which helped them to bring best amount out of them. So before we bring our actual topic into picture, let's try to understand something about our own self. What is this body made up of? Is it of flesh, bone, blood, pus, urine, stool, or is it more than what we see in our naked eyes? This is very important because before we explore, or before we try to bring best out of us, we need to identify who we are, what we are made up of. Then only we can think about how to bring best out of it. So the first and foremost understanding is that we are not this body which is just externally seen through the naked eye. We are something beyond this body. Our first day, we don't remember what is our first day because we did not develop that kind of consciousness to retain that memory, how our body evolved to the form that we today try to enjoy, in fact. Everything started with the union of sperm and egg. Scientifically, we all know this, right? One single cell formed with the union of sperm and egg. And eventually, that one single cell led to the development of a very complex body structure, which is made up of trillions of cells. And you see, there was only one cell. And that cell split across and formed a different organs and organ system and such a complex mechanism which is synchronized and working so coherently in a harmonized manner. So that one cell had led to such a complex system. Who designed this body need to be saluted so wholeheartedly that he had inbuilt the whole design within that one single union of sperm and egg, right? So our Vedic literature, as in detail, explains how a sperm of a male gets a body, where sperm of a male enters into the egg of a female and gets a body when it is mystically unites with the ovum. Very scientifically explained how the body grows for over 9 months time is very scientifically explained. Modern day science have discovered recently, but our Vedic Srimad Bhagavatam, so it is very detailed explained. At 7th month, the consciousness is developed, and which parts are developed at individual stages, all are defined very nicely. So whatever it is, the body is just outer covering, or a gross body is just outer covering of the inner spirit soul. We are not this body, we are a spirit soul. This body is actually made up of earth, water, air, fire, and ether. The body which is externally seen to all of us, if you just try to understand from a Shastri point of view, the basic building blocks are earth, water, air, fire, and ether. And then we also have a subtle body in between spirit, soul, and a gross body, which is made up of mind, intelligence, and false ego, mana, buddhi, ahankara. So originally the pure soul expresses its polluted desires through material substance. The soul in its original true form, in the liberated form, in an unconditioned form, it is full of knowledge, blissful, and eternity. But as the spirit soul tries to enjoy the material matter, it tries to identify or exhibit its desires, the polluted desires, the contaminated desires through the material substance. In a way, we are not this body. We are trying to enjoy that which we are not actually. So this body is being misused or try to be enjoyed by engaging with the material substance, but eventually that will not lead to any success, right? So let's try to understand mind. So all of us, gets enough of it, when the mind goes into turbulence, we suffers a lot. We feel like why the whole world is so painful. So happy and pain, the misery or the blissfulness is the state of a mind. Any situation can be made into a happy situation, or any situation can be made into a miserable situation based on the state of a mind. So there's a very famous thing. It says, mind can make hell into heaven and heaven into hell, right? So how to understand this mind? It's a very big question. Mind is actually made up of unfulfilled desires. It's a storehouse of unfulfilled desires and unlimited thoughts. Uncontrolled mind is the enemy. As per Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, the mind which is uncontrolled is the biggest enemy of a person. Similarly, if a mind is controlled, is his best friend. So some of you may be telling, why do we need mind? But mind is the biggest friend. We need mind. So it accepts or rejects. It accepts a thing or rejects a thing. No, accepts a bad desire or rejects the bad desire. Accepts a good desire or rejects a good desire. For example, it accepts someone. It may accept someone who want to go for a Bhagavad Gita class based on his state of mind or consciousness, and it may reject it, or it may accept somebody who is who is willing to watch a pornography, or rejects it. You understand? So it's either accepts, eventually take a decision in accepting or rejecting. And mind in goodness. Mind may act in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the mind is acting upon mode of goodness, then it stays in present. It means the mind is situated in what I have to do at this point of time. It does not dwell upon either past or future. And mind contemplates on the nature of truth. Mind wants to seek the truth. He wants to become a seeker. He wants to understand who am I. He wants to explore the life in a very positive sense, with a positive attitude based on the Shastric revelation. And it wants to associate with other seekers, like mind people, or birds of same feather flock together, we used to say, right? So if the mind is in the mood of seeking, it also wants to associate with those people who are also in the mood of seeking the absolute truth. Or in other hand, if mind is a mood of self-destruction, by being associated with the mode of passion and ignorance, mind would force a person to dwell upon or to associate upon those people who also want for self-destruction. So everything depends upon the state of the mind. And ultimately, minds become a seeker in the mode of goodness. And that is the natural state of a mind. In fact, mind is created originally in the mode of goodness. So there is nothing harm with the mind. Mind is absolutely fine. But only thing is, we want to bring back that mind to the original state, to its original state at which it is created. Mind is created in the mode of goodness, but we have pulled it down. We have pulled it to the platform of passion and ignorance, which is not its original state. That's why mind is and very disturbed. Why mind is disturbed? Because mind is not situated in its original state. Like, for example, if a fish, the original position of fish is, or the fish would be happy if it is situated in water. If it is placed in a water, it swims, dances, and it enjoys its life. Let's say if you try to pull out a fish out of a water and offer $1, or offer a beer bottle, or offer a beautiful girlfriend, the fish will not feel any happiness, right? Fish says, you do whatever you want, but just drop me back to the water. Similarly, mind would be steady, happy, calm, peaceful, and undisturbed, want to seek the absolute truth once it is situated in the mode of goodness. But mind in passion and ignorance, if it is in mode of passion and ignorance, it either dwell upon future and past. In the future, it tries to hanker or in past it laments. For example, it says shoka baya. You know, shoka means laments. Let's say I'll give you an example. Let's say you're given an exam, you're given a paper and you came back. Now you just look into the question paper and you see, I missed this question. I missed this question. I should have done this like that. I should have done like this. I would have thought like this. This calculator did not supported me, or that teacher did not taught me this problem. You keep on lamenting. You keep on giving reasons and keep on crying. And you do not think, okay, next day there is an examination. Whatever has happened has happened. Let me just stick on to my present duty, which is to prepare for the next examination. You understand? That means mind is the mode of passion and ignorance, which is not good for uh, your uh, your whole career or your whole existence. I just give an example of examination. And similarly, let's say hankering in the sense, okay, what I'll do now, tomorrow I'll go and I'll sit in the examination. I'll start thinking like this. I'll use all my energy. I will keep on working in the examination hall, and I'll not look here and there. I'll not even go for passing urine also. I'll just keep on working like this. You keep on making plans, and that keep on making plans, but that will spoil your present time of preparing for the examination. Or in the other hand, in future, you keep on hankering. What I'll do is I'll just try to get 9 or 9.5 CGPA, or what I'll still do is I'll just plan or hanker to get the 4 crore package. In the whole institute, I must be the only person who should get this big package, and everybody should look at me as I come out of my hall of residence, and everyone should respect me, salute me, and everybody should think like, what a life, he's the best personality in the whole creation. And you keep on dreaming and hankering, and you miss your present CGPA, and you fail in the subject. So both past and future, lamenting and hankering is dangerous for mind. So mind should be situated in the mode of goodness, which is mainly focusing upon our present duty at this point of time. And what is my nature also determines the state of consciousness or state of mind, actually. So ultimately, you see here karmic memory. Karmic memory means whatever I have done in my past lives, and that will add upon, and this been stored in your subtle body, and that would compel you to go in a specific direction. You see, from childhood onwards, some people have some tendencies to follow bad habits. Some people have some tendencies to follow good habits in terms of playing music instruments, sitting calm, and reading books and all these things. Some people are so much into mode of ignorance. They want to sleep and drink obnoxious things. They enjoy, with all these things. So karmic memory also matters a lot. And then genealogical memory. Genealogical memory means your forefather and all of them, because you're carrying the genes, right? And there is a memory also associated with that. And there is third thing, the environment, the samskara, that what we say. Let's say you may have a good karmic memory and a good genealogical memory, but your environment is so bad. So what happens? There is a story of parrots, right? Once there were 2 parrots born, and one parrot was taken by a butcher, and a second parrot has been taken by a saint. And butcher, the parrot which was taken by a butcher, over a period of time learned all bad things, like kill him, bring him, torture him, and all these words it learned. Whereas the same bird, which the another bird, his sibling, who has been put under the shelter of a saint, now he is speaking very nice, sweet words. Please come, have a seat, how are you, and all these things. So the environment matters a lot. And the fourth one is spiritual genealogy. That means we are all ultimately situated and connected towards the absolute truth through a different channel. So the spiritual genealogy, like we say, what is your gotra? whether you belong to Kashyapa Gotra, Bharadwaja Gotra, and all these things. So there is also a spiritual genealogy associated with. So ultimately put together, it's a complex mechanism which decides what is my nature at this point of time. So it's a summary. Our nature depends upon karmic effect from past many lives, mental memory, our genealogy, bodily memory, around 100 trillion cells. Our environment, so-called association, has considerable impact, and the resulting personality is thus a complex interactions of these memory and information exchange in multiple channels. And next is occupational duties, varna, right? Based on the nature, once varna is decided. Varna means, it's an occupational duty as given here, and it is also mentioned in scripture as, there are two things, varna and ashrama. Krishna says in Gita, Chaturvarna mayam srishtva guna karma vibhagashaha tasya akartaram apyaham vidya akartaram avyayam. Occupational duty is depending based on one's nature. We discussed nature depends upon 4 aspects, right? Now, based on this aspect, one's occupational duty is been not defined. He is naturally inclined to perform these kind of occupational duties. What are those? One is intellectual class. In any society, you can see these 4 categories of people in any part of the world. Intellectual class, that means who rule, who give guidance, who are very intellectual class, who give guidance to the society. And second class is administrators, who wants to rule, want to, possess that leadership qualities. Third class is the business people, right? Who want to, involve in money business and so many mercantile business. And the fourth class is the service providers, who want to render simple menial services to the whole society. So these 4 classes of people are required in order to run a society. Then who will be an intellectual person, who will be an administrative person, who will take a role of a business people, who will take a person of a role of a service provider? That Shastra will not decide, but its true nature, his karmic reactions, his genealogical memory, his upbringing atmosphere, and his spiritual genealogy, all this put together, and his ultimately free will, that he want to possess a specific kind of occupational duty, would direct him to occupy that space. The intellectual class, this category of people possess these qualities. What are they? Tolerance. They are, and there is a very beautiful verse in Shikshashtakam which says, Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadina kirtaniya sadari. That means as tolerant as a big tree and as humble as a blade of grass. That is the mood of a person who is in the mode of pure goodness, right? So tolerance is a very important character, very, very, vital character of intellectual class. And peacefulness, he will be calm even in the situation of very disturbance and high turbulence. So his mind is in peaceful manner, and want to address that issue. And austerity, want to perform tapasya, voluntarily exhibiting this intention of carrying out tapasya or austerity for a higher purpose. Waking up early in the morning, though he may sleep for till midday, but he do not want to do that. He want to wake up early in the morning. And his knowledge, he's interested to receive knowledge and impart knowledge. One is receiving the knowledge, storing it, applying in his life, and also imparting to the society, giving a practical roadmap to the whole society, how to live based on the knowledge that he's gained based on the Shastras. And honesty, he follows this principle of honesty is the best policy, right? These are some of the noble features of a person who can be called as a intellectual person. And administrative class, in this category, people would exhibit heroism, determination, power. They don't they don't possess that timid character. They want to fight, and establish something which is of higher principle. And they're very courageous, and they do not hesitate to give up their life also, and they're ultimately into leadership positions. And business class, they perform trading, business, they are into business and dealing with money. And service provider, all service sectors, whatever may be the service sectors. Somebody is putting petrol, somebody is carrying big luggages. You take any labor class. That's what is service providers. Similarly, one is Varna, administrative class, intellectual class, and mercantile class or business class, and then service providers. Now we have occupational duties in terms of ashrama. Varna and ashrama, I told. Ashrama means there are 4 ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. Brahmacharya means student life. Now you are all considered to be in a Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means, now this is a phase of a life. Let's say 100 years. Let's take an example of 100 years. In that 100 years, 25% of the life, the duration, the first 25% should be set for to learn the things. Brahmacharya means Brahmacharya will help you to learn things, because first phase is the learning phase. Then only you can apply whatever you've learned for the rest of your life, right? You do not want to learn towards the fag end of life after 75 years, where you cannot change anything, whatever has happened in your life, right? You want to learn the principles, then apply in your life so that you will lead a very meaningful life. So first 25 years of any human being life is very, very crucial, and that decides the rest part of his life. If one lead a very holistic life for first 25 years, like you belong to this category of ashrama, Brahmacharya ashrama. Brahmacharya ashrama, you have to, learn both the academic life and the spiritual life should go hand in hand. We are not saying you just pick up a Bhagavad Gita, forget physics, chemistry, mathematics, and whatever the subjects that you have to study. No. The study means it's a holistic study. You study the Shastra so that you can be a better student. Right? So Bhagavad Gita will not guide you to run away from your responsibility and duty. In fact, Bhagavad Gita will make you a very efficient performer in whatever activity, in whatever phase of life. It's that doesn't mean that Bhagavad Gita is only required for first 25 years of life. That is what not I'm saying. This is very important in this phase so that you can continue your journey on by taking shelter of Bhagavad Gita. So the second phase is householder life. So once you have learned and applied in your life, now you know what is right and what is wrong, and you may choose to enter into a householder life as per that is also very holistic and authenticated lifestyle. And don't think that householder life means a full of sense enjoyment. It's an open invitation for sense and more enjoyment. No. Householder life is a very responsible position in the society. In being a householder, because I am a householder, I can tell you, being a householder means you should set an example to the whole society, because 99% of the people marries, right? So once you marry, and because you are a married person who is living life of a holistic, you're living a holistic life based on the Shastras, the Bhagavad Gita, then you would want to establish that moral principle. You would want to establish that high standards such that the rest of the people would follow you, because you are from IIT background. Let's say you say, I will not eat meat. I will follow these principles. And this is what is good for the whole society in a fact. If you adopt in your life and people see the changes in your life, and they may also get inspired. There's a beautiful verse in Bhagavad Gita. It says, Yadyad acharate shreshtat tad eva itaro janaha sayat pramanam krute lokastadharvatade. Whatever the great people do, rest of the people would follow them. And the third phase of the life is retired life. Eventually, over a period of life, you would want to come out of your attachments. You would want to come out of your material obligations to move towards a phase of life
where you want to have more focused, determined, and dedicated towards your higher self-realization, spiritual advancement, spiritual enlightenment. So from being a responsible position, you want to come out of that family responsibility to become even more responsible to the whole society, where you want to impart knowledge full time, dedicated, or most of the time you can dedicate for to gain knowledge, spiritual knowledge, and also impart. And rest is mendicant life. That means complete renounce from material attachments. It's not like everybody should wear a sannyasi dress and move around. I'm not saying that. The detachment should be from within the heart. Okay. So what is holistic life? I spoke enough about holistic life. And what do you mean by holistic life? Holistic life means being in a mode of goodness. Whatever is required, I already told in the beginning of my class that mind is situated in the mode of goodness. That brings peacefulness, tolerance, austerity, and all these great qualities, right? You can achieve great things in the whole world if you try to bring mind in a mode of goodness. So, regulated life, being a regulated life. There is a beautiful verse in the Gita that which says that one should live a very regulated life. Krishna never says you should not have any enjoyment. In a regulated manner, you can fulfill your desires also. So that's what Bhagavad Gita says. And disciplined life and obedient life. And disciplined means what time you are waking up, what time you are going to sleep, how much time you're dedicated for your studies, how much time you want to dedicate for the spiritual advancement. In the sense, morning hours, few time, whatever time is available, half an hour, 1 hour, if you can help yourself read few verses of Gita, go for meditation, mantra meditation, or discuss with your like-minded people, your seniors, and that will drive your entire day in a very positive manner. You understand, na? A very disciplined life. And how much time you want to, let's say you're interested to play some sports. So in the evening hours, you can dedicate 1 hour, 1.5 hours playing some sports so that you can be physically very healthy. Also, mental well-being, physical well-being, spiritual well-being, social well-being, all these things put together formulate a discipline formula. And being obedient to your seniors, because your seniors, your parents, being obedient to your teachers, being obedient to the society, obedience is a very great quality, right? And then synergy with the nature. That means, are we are we responsible for maintaining the nature or not? So are we helping nature to? Are we maintaining the atmosphere around us in a holistic manner or not? And healthy body and mind, and understanding your own true nature. Eventually, it doesn't happen in a day. Eventually, you would understand your own true nature and connecting your nature to absolute truth. Once you understand the nature, whether you belong to an administrative class, labor class, or intellectual class, of course, you're all intellectuals because you're cracked IIT. But there is another thing called a spiritual intelligence, right? But your nature, if you say you want to rule over, or you want to being a leader, that is not a wrong thing. In fact, we need leaders in the society, but you can become a great leader based on the shastric principles, right? And connecting your nature to absolute truth with your nature. So there are 3 gunas: sattva guna, rajas guna, tamas guna. There are some qualities given here. In tamas guna, one is very lethargic. Let's say if somebody asks him to do a job today, then after 1 week, he may think of doing it. And inactivity, negativity, always thinking negative, even though he can achieve something, but his negative mind will never achieve that. And apathy, dullness, dark, delusion, depression, ignorance. I don't go in detail because these words are very familiar as such. And rajas guna, movement, activity, highly passionate and excited, and a lot of desires, and being in anxiety also, a lot of egoism because he knows something in his life, and passion, excitement, energy, and all these things. Whereas sattva guna, a person situated in the mode of sattva guna is in a balanced mood, lives in harmony with the society and the whole nature, always positive minded, situated in peace, have clarity about what is his goal statement, and he's creative in a mode of goodness and openness, and very intelligence as such. So the best thing is, gross level, we should start following the holistic lifestyle. That means early to bed and early to rise, as possible as such, because there is a famous saying also, right? Early to bed and early to rise make a person healthy, wealthy, and wise, right? So we want to achieve something in this world that can happen if we follow this holistic life based on the mode of goodness. And then 4 major habits: eating, sleeping, sexual behavior, good touch and bad touch, and defending. So if you see anyone in this world living, or any species also, these 4 major habits are common to anyone and every one of them. Let's, whether it could be a cat, dog, hog, monkey, donkey, mosquito, a human being. In human being, there's so many species of human beings also. So whomsoever, wherever there is life, you can see they are wearing a body. These 4 major habits are seen. They have to eat, have to sleep. They have this tendency towards enjoying the opposite gender, and defending. Whenever there is a danger, based on their ability, they would try to fight and keep their body intact, right? And mind is purified if we have above 4 sanctified habits. My dear friends, please try to understand these 3 categories. One is sanctioned, second is sanctified, third is regulated. Sanction means what is sanctioned for us as a human being, that we should accept, and we should make it purified. It doesn't mean that whatever is sanctioned is in a pure form, unless, because everything in this world is associated with its reactions, right? So whatever we have, whether can we make it a reaction free? Whatever we get, something to eat, whether can we make it a reaction free eatable object? And that makes it sanctified. But that doesn't end the story. Let's say there is something which you can eat and it doesn't cause you any reaction and is sanctioned to you, but it doesn't mean that you can go on eating and you break your stomach and admit in health center. You can eat to an extent which is helpful for you to maintain this body, mind, and soul intact and a very comfortable manner. So that is what is called as regulated, right? Sanctioned, sanctified, and regulated. And pure mind leads to positive creativity. Now first take a eating part. Eating decides a major part of our holistic existence, my dear friends. Who has cooked the food that you're eating? What has been cooked? How do you eat? When should we eat? How much should we eat? Now, as an IITian, you may, don't like somebody listing out all these questions. Are mera maa nahi puchte. Who are you to ask these questions to me? Don't think like that. We are just trying to support you. If you change this eating habit, most of the things will be in your control. You can live a very happy life in this world, my dear friends. This is my personal experience also. In my younger, though I'm not so old, but let's say 10 years before, when I was an undergraduate student, not 15 years before, let's say, when I was an undergraduate student like any one of you, I used to go out and eat whatever I used to find. Of course, I was not eating this non-vegetarians, but yet, I was totally servant of my tongue. My tongue used to roam around and direct. My body used to follow my tongue. That's it. So, but I still remember mine was so disturbed and I could not study well during my UG. Let's explore each of them. What we must not eat. I'll just tell this, what we must not eat, so you'll get an idea. we should not eat meat products. Meat products include fish and egg also, because often people would consider, अरे fish तो जल की फल है भाई, fish तो कोई भी खा सकते हैं, है ना? It's a sea vegetable. People would name, I don't know how they would get these kind of names. जल फल बोलते हैं. My dear friends, fish also has life. It also you know mm, uh, move around, it respires, and also wants to eat other small objects. It also sleeps, it also mates, it also produces offspring, whatever you do it also does. So fish is not sanctioned food for human beings. And egg also, right? So any meat products is prohibited for human beings as per shastras. And then refined products, because it would spoil your health also. And packed foods, the most of the carcinogenic agents, the cancer causing agents, is because of these products. Refined products, packed food, and meat products. It would change your consciousness, it will spoil your consciousness, it will make you enter into the mode of passion and ignorance, and it will, more importantly, remove that compassion within your heart. If somebody is killing an animal, a blood is oozing out, and somebody is sucking that blood, and somebody is eating a body of a dead animal, which is filled with urine, stool, pus, flesh, and blood. How nasty thing is it actually? You are eating somebody's stool, someone's stool. Do you enjoy it? So obnoxious thing. So meat products is not a sanctioned food. So we must not eat it. And food in mode of goodness is what recommended and sanctioned for all of us. For example, salads, sprouts, fruits, healthy grains, cooked food, and all these things. Eat whatever capacity that you can eat. Of course, make it as a sanctified food before you eat it. And how to eat it. So we have understood what we can eat and how to eat it. First of all, we should wash your legs, hands, and mouth, right? Because there could be so many bacteria, this and that. Make yourself externally clean and offer prayers, because you're not getting food, by a chance, right? Somebody is going out, putting effort for you, growing the crops. Somebody is earning money, getting that food for you, and giving back to you. And above all, it's the super source who is giving these grains, right? It's not that farmer can give you food, farmer can grow the crops if you don't have seeds, right? There is someone who has given the seeds. Who has given the seeds is the supreme source. Aham bija prajapita. That's what Krishna says. Ultimately, if we pray to the supreme Lord, who is the source for everything, that means we can give we can express our gratitude to all of them who comes in this chain, because of whom we are getting this mercy as food. So respect the food. We should not waste the food also. Somebody's hard-earned effort that we are eating it. So many people in this world don't have opportunity to eat it. Respect the food. You have got the food to eat for this. You got the meal for today. So respect the food. Pray to that food, and pray to the Supreme Lord because of His mercy. You're getting the food, and use your hands to eat. This also need to be told. And if try to possible, use your right hand. And it's kind of a respect to the food. And then appreciate prasadam while being silent mode, or you can hear some silent, soft music, some kirtans, and have a nice food. Being compassion, that means sharing our prasadam. It's not that there is so many things, I'll only eat it, I'll not give to anyone. No, we should be very much compassionate. So whenever is possible, fast, because every fortnight or twice in a month we also fast. It's good for our body also, because whatever toxins has been developed, it's been taken out. So fast it, and also distribute prasadam to less privileged students who don't have food. And sleeping habits. Eating we discussed, then sleeping means, where do you sleep, when do you sleep, how do you sleep, what is the ambience? This also matters a lot. Best sleeping hours are 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. or 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. and maintain a diary before sleeping.
Just have a record like what time you're sleeping and what time you're waking up, and read a good book or listen to a devotional song before you go to sleep. Because if you read a good book and hear a devotional song, you get a very peaceful, healthy, and very sweet dreams. If you get a dream, it would be a sweet dream. Or if you don't get a dream, that is also very well and fine. Have a very nice sleep and relaxed sleep. And after the prayer, lie in yoga nidra and hear soft music. Get up much before the sunrise. This is very important, my dear friends. If you wake up after 6 o'clock and take bath, that sleep is bath is called as blood bath. So that kind of bath has no sense. And you must feel rested. Be calm and relax. And touch. We spoke about eating habit, sleeping habit, and touching. There is something called as good touch and a bad touch. Good touch in the sense, you know, playing sports, dancing with your good friends, and community service and all satsanga and all these things. Bad touch means free mixing with opposite sex. That's what we can see in most of the places, especially very commonly seen in reputed institutes like IITs, where people, the students have that free opportunity of mixing with the opposite gender, which is not good. As I already told, first 25 of years, that means the student life is meant for following certain rules and regulations, which will help you to, keep your energy within yourself. Don't release the energy wherever you get an opportunity to release. So keep the energy, don't release the energy now, and hold the energy so that you can be an evolved person, right? And you can invest that energy, in fact, in a very positive sense. And defending a healthy body, healthy mind, with contributing to the society and contributing to the whole environment. You can keep up your body, mind very fit. That's what is defending means. And thereby you can contribute well to the whole society and the environment. So being compassionate, gardening, cleaning, go seva, plantation, serving elders, walking, yoga and exercise, so many activities that you could do, right? It's not that you have to waste your whole life sitting next to your mobile phone. You see, so many wonderful activities are listed out here. Just a minute, I'm just getting a call. I'm just right. So the problem is, many of you are already into bad habits before entering into IIT Kanpur. You may be. I'm not saying that you're all into bad habits, but you could have been in some. You might have been exposed to some bad habits, and some of you get into them after coming here also. There's a fair chance that because of the atmosphere is so rajoguna and tamoguna, that means passion and ignorance based. So there is a very high chance that you may enter into this kind of bad habits. So there needs to be an acknowledgement that I am in mess and need help. If you are into this kind of situation, plus first of all, try to acknowledge that, yes, I have this problem. And if I have this problem, I have to come out of this problem. And you seek for an help. Seek for an help, which is, who can be a best friend other than Bhagavad Gita? Who can be a best friend who studies Bhagavad Gita, right? So they will help you to come out of this. And de-addiction measures must be provided as a support system. So if it's not like, you have to force yourself to give up something. It's not, detaching is very tough, but attaching is very easy. What we are saying is, don't try to get detached from the bad habits, get attached to the good habits. If you get more into the good habits, naturally there is no space for bad habits, right? There is only a space limitation. Either you fill the space with the bad habits, or you fill the space with the good habits. If you just keep filling the good habits within the space, the bad habits has no space. That's it. It's so simple. This journey of Bhagavad Gita is so simple, realistic, and practical. Right? Okay. I don't know. The slide is not moving. Okay. Creative individuals, they are self-aware, know their strengths, weakness, and they give back to the society and they take the responsibility. So we want you to become such a creative leader. They are resilient and not afraid of failure. Right? If somebody is so much scared about the failure, he will not be able to focus upon the success. He will not be able to focus upon what he can do. So don't become nervous. Fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. And they also take risk. It's not a risk at all. It's a very sweetful journey of following this principles. In the beginning, it may look like a little bit complicated and tough to follow, but it's not at all tough. Over a period of time, you start relishing this, and they trust in God. They're reformists, and they serve with selfless attitude, are leaders who are best followers of dharma, ethics, and morality. Spirituality is the way of life. You see here, there's a very famous incident, that very bad incident that had happened in 2003, where our Indian astronaut also, Kalpana Chawla, had to give up her body. Nobody mourned for the space shuttle, but for 7 astronauts, right? Columbia space shuttle, took away the life of the 7 people, but nobody mourned for them. They mourned for the life, not for the machine. Are we mere sophisticated machines? Bhagavad Gita compels us to contemplate, right? So overall, the conclusion is you must become self-aware of your creative potency. This requires a holistic life based on mode of goodness habits. One needs to transcend myopic and selfish values. Association of those who believe in values is very important. Bhagavad Gita will be the best companion towards achieving this goal. So all these lectures have been taken, and being inspiration has been taken by Professor Bera, who happened to be the Mandi, the director of IIT Mandi. So big thanks to him for introducing all of us to this holistic lifestyle. So that's it from my side. And we can also explore in future session, why should I read Bhagavad Gita, consciousness and reincarnation, God and his kingdom, yoga system, goal of human life, all these aspects. Now it's the time for questions or comments. It's time for all these things. Thank you so much. Any questions? I hope I was audible and clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
And Jayesh, I don't hear anything from you. That's make me scary.
Is it
I
now?
don't know. Wait. Can you speak now?
Sir, I'm audible?
Yes. Whether I was audible throughout the class?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, good.
Those of you who have any questions, you can raise your hands, or you can also put it in the chat.
Akshat, Ansh, Rahul, Ranjan, Sagar, Tushar. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Okay. Can you just ask Jayesh whether if they can tell one point or take away a point from the class, whatever they might have liked.
Yes,
So
sir.
that an understanding for us whether they followed the lecture or not. Yeah.
You all can share just some one brief points what you liked from the session. So starting from Rahul, can you share some points? Hello, Rahul. Hello.
Hello.
Rahul.
Hello.
Hello.
Audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Um,
Can you share just one point
so,
what you liked from the session?
like But I liked this point was about three and Raja and what all comes under the gunas as the sattva, rajas, and tamas gunas.
Mhm.
Um, uh, um, that was and
Okay.
what are the how to identify which are the bad habits and what should we like regarding eating food, how we should uh, offer prayer and after that
Mm.
properly we should eat in quiet environment. Moreover, what food we should eat and which food we should not eat. So these were the points that I got from the lecture.
Okay. Nice. Share. Sagar, you can share one.
The four habits that we have to develop that include eating, sleeping, good touch and bad touch, and defense. I like
Eating,
this one.
sleeping, mating, and defending.
Yes.
And can you elaborate further a little bit?
Like in the eating habits, we saw we have to avoid the three foods MRP, like the meat products and refined products and packed products. Uh, and we have to eat plant-based food like fruits, grains, etc. And and in sleeping habits, we have to follow early to bed and early to rise. And it is good to hear a devotional song before sleeping. Uh, and regarding good touch and bad touch, uh, it is allowed in case of sports or uh, like community service, but it should not be done with a bad intention. And then defense, uh, every organism tries to defend itself uh, and its body in case of difficulties.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sagar. Ranjan.
Uh, I also like these 4 points about how that we should eat properly and mean sleep what and about good touch, bad touch, and
Okay. Rahul, your voice is not audible. Yes, sir. Ranjan, your voice is.
yes, I am speaking.
Okay, maybe Tushar. Tushar. Hello. You can share some small points that you liked from the session.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, the takeaway.
Tushar, your voice is not audible. Maybe one thing we can do, you all can post some sharing points in the group itself. In the group, you can write so that will encourage others also to attend the sessions. That will be very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, that would be better. And just ensure that you will not repeat the points. Just copy the points from the already posted points and just paste. So sooner is the better. So just start now itself.
So Akshat Raj has shared one point in the chat box. Then,
I don't see it.
uh,
Okay, just a minute. What he's saying, yeah.
The take Tushar is saying from the session was that maintaining balance in our life, try to be under sattva guna, try to control mind, not let the mind control us. Very good point. And Akshat Raj is saying, if we fill the space in our mind with good habits, there would be no space left for bad habits. So that's also a good point. So I think, students, it looks like students are quite attentive, because as a professor, it's our duty to also ensure that students at least take some point from the class. So thank you so much for your good time. So they're all situated at their home as of now, Jayesh?
Yeah, yes, sir. All of them are.
I wish you a very happy, holistic lifestyle for your future. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session. So we hope to take association.
Sure. Thank you.